Hey, you. It's a Blind Life. Everyone, and welcome back to the It's a Blind Life podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who decided to make a podcast just talking about our lives as blind people. There's no rhyme or reason to this show. We talk about what we want, when we want, and what you see is what you get. We talk about a variety of topics. It just depends on what we feel like talking about that day. Yeah, there's, again, no rhyme or reason to it. And today is a very exciting day. Today, the podcast turns a year old. Well, not exactly today, but it was about this time last year that we started this show. And so it's very exciting. Another year for another show. Woo. Yeah, no, it's super exciting. And so we were trying to think of what to do for a celebration, and really the only thing I could think of is kind of talking about, what some of our favorite episodes are, what kind of our top episodes are, and just stuff about the show, like some behind the scenes stuff kind of, and all that jazz. So without further ado, we will get right into it. So what I'll start with is our top 3 episodes, which I'm actually a little bit surprised as to what they are. So our top episode is our first episode where we introduce ourselves, which, okay, that tracks, that makes sense. Our second most popular episode is the apps that help us.
Oh, that's shocking.
I know.
I feel like we didn't really do much in that one.
And then the last one is cane usage, which is shocking to me because when that episode came out, that is one of the episodes I'm super proud of. I thought we did a really good job explaining things, or as best we could, going through everything.
We learned how bad Belle is at actually using a cane correctly, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And when it came out, it did not do well originally. And now to look at it being one of our top episodes is kind of crazy to me. And I'm happy about that. And then just for fun, our 4th most popular episode is our Why We Dislike Electric Cars. And then the last most popular one is the upsides to being blind, actually. I know, right?
I mean, the electric car episode is mainly me venting and raging.
I mean,
So,
it is.
I'm surprised on that one. I'm still shocked on the apps because, that one we struggled with.
Just a little bit.
We very much struggled with that because, we don't...
And that was our 3rd episode.
Oh, great. So that was really back when we didn't know what we were doing.
No, we knew what we were doing compared to the third episode.
Third episode.
Book Talk.
Book Talk. Okay, fair. But
we know a far greater deal about podcasting now than we did back when we started.
Yeah, that one was rough. But still, that one we didn't, compared to what we didn't know. We didn't know what we were really talking about because we were both we used the same things and it's not that much.
Yeah. I mean, and true, it might be a little bit helpful for some people, but yeah, I know. It's a little bit strange. Now, do you remember any episodes that we talked about that you're this one is my favorite one that we've done?
I'm trying to think of what we did. Not off the top of my head.
Okay, do you want me to read off my titles?
Well, I was going to look if you know yours.
No. Oh, well, okay. So for mine, I think that definitely the cane episode is one of my favorites. I just really enjoyed that one. Another one of my favorites, I did like the electric car one because it was nice to just be able to be like, hey, we got a problem. Like, not that many people care, but like at the same time, it's just kind of like, hey, yo, this is a problem. I think that another one that I remember doing the Why the Sunglasses episode. I enjoyed doing the research for that one.
Sorry, I read a thing and it said plates and I thought it said pirates and I was like, when did we talk about pirates?
We did not talk about pirates. This would be
that was
a very different show if we were talking about pirates.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
But yeah, that's another one of my favorite ones that we did, or that I did, because I think that's one of the ones I did on my own. I think that's when you weren't around. And I think I did like the fashion episode and the like how we do makeup episode, just because I like talking about just kind of day-to-day things sometimes and like how we handle that and like how do we do that. I enjoyed those kind of episodes myself, but there's only kind of so many of those we can do. So we are definitely kind of splitting it up as best we can. Have you picked a favorite?
Yes.
Okay. What's
the education experiences?
Oh, yeah.
That one, and then of course the electric cars. I feel like those two were my children.
Yeah, they kind of were.
They were the ones that I was like, this, I vote this, and like I pushed for.
Yeah. I know we did a lot of research on the ableism one too.
We did, but that wasn't one of my babies.
No, it wasn't. It was just more of a like, we do need to talk about this.
Yeah, and then we watched a lot of things. I remember at our old apartment sitting there one day after I got out of class on a Friday and just watching different people speak about it and having to come up with different things to talk about.
Yeah.
My lack of direction sense.
Oh, that was another one I did when you were.
Yeah, I never knew that one was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, explaining how I have zero direction sense.
But yeah, I like the education one because, again, as a person who is visually impaired and who is seeking further education, it is something that, like, I notice a lot, being, like, one of the very few disabled people in our building.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't others, but it's kind of like a whole thing. And when teachers find out that I'm blind, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I always like that one. But granted, within recent years, we've kind of flip-flopped, and I've become a lot more of the educational-based one.
Yeah, you have. Now, what do you have an episode that you are just kind of like, not this episode, like I can't stand this one?
Oh boy.
I know the one for me is the plates, utensils, and kitchen gadget.
The pirates episode.
The so-called pirates episode. Yeah, that one for me, it sounded like a good idea at the time, like when we were brainstorming for episodes, but in practice,
yeah, that one's kind of boring.
That episode is rough. Like I fully recognize that.
Yeah, that one, it came out a lot different than what we thought.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
because like it is something that like for us is a big part of our lives.
Yeah,
but like it's easier to explain face to face with people versus trying to do it.
Yeah, in a podcast
form. So, like, that one was not good.
The other one for me is The Trouble with Large Print.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That one was also hard. And it falls into the same category as the plates and utensils. And even, what was the other one? Kind of like the How We Cook and even the apps that help us. It falls into the same category of like, hey, this is something that's like important and we need to talk about this. But sitting down to actually talk about it is difficult.
Yeah.
It was not easy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, we know we get questions about it from people, but, like, without having a sighted person sit down with us and ask us the questions,
Yeah.
it's hard for us to, like,
yes.
because, again, and, like, I think that's, like, a common thing with some of these episodes that are kind of like that. It's hard for us to explain because we don't know any different. So for us, it's like, we just do this. Like, whenever I was first asked how do I read a prescription bottle, I'm like, I just read it. What are you talking about? Like, it's not stuff we think about. So to have to try to think about it ourselves when we don't know any different, I think is where.
Yeah. And what I think I'm going to do, because to find out all this stuff, I'm looking at our, like, portal thing for us where I upload the podcast. And there is a thing on here that's called fan mail. And I'm thinking that what I might do, I'm going to look through and double, like, check everything and read through it. But I think I am going to turn this feature on because, like, if y'all have questions, like, we might just start kind of doing a couple episodes of, like, taking viewer questions or, like, comments or that kind of thing. Just to
help.
Yeah, just to try to, like, help some of these, like, other episodes, or just making, like, a addressing confusion kind of episode, like,
Yeah.
things that don't make sense to y'all, that make sense to us, but just we know what we mean, and sometimes it is difficult for us to explain that well.
Yeah. I think the one episode for me that I'm like, I dislike the episode the most is the makeup episode.
Yeah.
But, like, for me, it was like having to remember that because, again, we bring up my dancing and my show years.
Yeah,
and it's like that was a very
that was a little more rough for
that was a more
you.
traumatic time that I had to go back to remember how I did crap.
Yeah.
Not saying that, like, you know, my entire life was horrible at that time, but, like, if you do dance competitions or know someone who does do dance competitions or has done in the past, they can attest, like, for me being out of the dance world now for so long, I'm like, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to subject anybody to that.
Yeah, and, like, in that same vein, I know the Ableism Explained video, there's a lot of trauma stuff in that one. Like, that is not an episode for the faint of heart. Yeah, I don't even remember. Did I mark it as explicit? Because sometimes I do when it's a heavy topic. Apparently I didn't.
No, you did.
Oh, did I?
There's an E.
Okay, yeah, then I can't see it on the...
At least on Spotify, there's an E.
Okay, yeah, then I can't see it on the back end. You guys can see it through Spotify. But yeah, I marked it as such for a reason because...
You can leave comments on Spotify?
Apparently, yes.
When did this happen?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I can see them on my end, but I struggle with that. But regardless, that episode was also just very difficult to go through and kind of relive some of the stuff that we went through and all that jazz. It was a whole time. Times were had. Not necessarily good ones, but times were definitely had. Now, I know some other fun episodes that I like doing are just our funny stories ones. Like, just because it's nice to have just those lighthearted, like...
I was only here for one of them.
I know. We can laugh at ourselves moments. Oh, yeah, that's what my lack of direction sense was. I forgot what that was.
Girl, I didn't even know it was there until, like...
Yeah, no. Yeah, because I had to find something when you were gone, and I was like, funny story. Yep, that'll do.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
So, are there any upcoming episodes that we've got in the works, or even, like, we don't know when they're coming out? It might not be for a hot minute that you're like, I'm excited for this episode.
Hold on. Wasn't prepared for that.
Oh, okay.
Probably what is currently on the list is as episode 31,
Mm-hmm.
which is a blind problems episode about underestimating.
Oh, yeah.
That's just me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm a person of very much... Literally the only reason I am where I am today is because people said no, and I said, watch me.
Yeah. I mean, I know we have a lot of funny stories that I'm excited for, but again, I just like those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But for more serious ones, I think that episode I am a little bit excited for because I'm excited to see your take on it. I know we're eventually going to be talking about like how we live alone as blind people. I know that one's going to be, I think that one's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm also looking at like some of the ideas we had just to kind of go through some of the ones I'm excited about. Yeah, I'm excited for the being blind and living alone. The social situations one I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mental health.
Yes.
Disability mental health. I'm excited for those, mainly because it's things that I want to speak out about that I feel like aren't very hit on much.
I agree with that. And it's not on the list yet, but there is going to be an episode where we talk about some big corporations doing some real shady things to people with disabilities.
Oh, yes.
And I'm pumped for that one. I don't know when it's going to happen. It might not be for quite some time.
It may happen soon.
It may happen sooner than I think. I honestly can't tell you.
I know you're excited for that.
I'm excited for that one because I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And then there's me over here who has to do it all. And I'm like, well, I'm ready for it. But like anybody who knows us personally, and hello if you do, will know this was my obsession like for all of my summer break.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was obsessed with this. And I was until like 2 weeks ago where bankruptcy has taken over my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's currently the new thing that's going on is bankruptcy, which is very interesting. Side rant by Belle. Guys, the companies that are declaring bankruptcy is insane. Tupperware? Who knew Tupperware?
Who knew that?
I'm also going on this because I also spent like the last month just nonstop talking about Red Lobster. Not willingly, might I add.
It was for class, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Nonstop talking about Red Lobster, and it was horrible. And then, like, literally right before our last assignment was due for it, Red Lobster was saved from bankruptcy, and we were just like, well, look at that.
Looky there.
Who sent all of this to happening? Because it was Red Lobster was saved and Tupperware declared bankruptcy on the same day.
Jeez, that's a lot.
Yeah, so it led to a bunch of stuff happening.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am now with that. But I did do some research, so that may be coming out sooner than we think. But
Yeah. And like I said, we don't know when some of these episodes are coming out because this behind the scenes information. I'm in charge of the schedule, quote unquote, schedule for this show. And every time that something happens in our lives, I'm the one who has to fix the schedule.
first off, you are not a schedule person to begin with.
No, I'm not. So, like, me being in charge of these schedules is not great. It doesn't go well for anybody involved. But I do them because I'm the one who has the time to do them. And like I said, every time something has gone horribly awry or our plans have changed, and every time we have an episode where we're like, hey, plans have changed, know that I have been in the background running around just being like, what do I do? I don't know what to do.
And that's even before I've hijacked anything.
Correct. Yeah, you haven't hijacked any episodes for this show.
No. If you are a longtime listener of Blind Girls Book Talk, you will know during like the beginnings to like middle, not anywhere recent, but within like the first like year or two, I hijacked a lot of things. I literally existed just to cause Aria problems.
You
on
really
the
did.
podcast. I really did. It would be like I was the worst to her. Not like intentionally. It would be more so just
you would be like, hey, I have an idea for this thing. And I would be like, yeah, I like that idea. Now I have to figure out where to put it.
yeah. Or I would be like, I want to talk about this. We're going to do this instead today. And she'd be like, no, don't do this to me. And I'm like, yeah, too bad. I haven't done it with this one. And I haven't hijacked anything in a long time.
No, it's
Blind Life.
It's been
it's coming.
Book talk.
Yeah, in book talk. It's coming though.
Yeah.
I'll do something.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's gonna come. I just want to make your life more difficult.
Yeah. You like doing that to me.
I am chaos incarnate when it comes to these podcasts.
No, okay, listen. I'm a chaotic individual. I'm chaos. And then when I'm like, okay, there's one aspect of my life that I'm going to attempt to put some order to it. Like, not a lot of order. Like, because our schedules for both shows are very flexible. To be honest, this show is a little bit more rigid in scheduling than Book Talk is. Book Talk is a very fluid show.
Oh yeah, hence why Belle's hijacked a lot of things.
This show is a lot more structured in comparison. I know it doesn't seem that way, but it is. On the back end, it is. On the behind the scenes, it is. And I don't even know. It's just when things go awry, I then am like, okay, well, I've got to fix it. And then I like stare at it and I'm like, how do I fix this? And honestly, I used to, like, back when, actually probably like back before we moved the first time, I would, if things were gone horribly awry or like we were starting to get low like in the schedule and I needed to come up with more episodes, like I would sit there and just be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and I would fix it all. And now, no, I don't do that anymore, because at some point I was just like, this is going to get changed no matter what I do. So here's what we've got, and we're going to hope for the best.
Yeah, and honestly, the only reason that, like, Book Talk was so structured for the first year or two was literally because we bulk recorded. Once we started not bulk recording, my chaos was unleashed.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, that's why this show, it's more structured, but at the same time, not as structured, because things get changed. And every time I'm like, okay, this is going to be the next episode. And then Bella's like, no. And it's like, well, we kind of promised the people out there that this is going to be the next episode.
And then me, I don't care.
So we bow to the will of Belle in this instance.
No offense, y'all gotta listen to me talk. So, like, if I don't want to talk about something one day, you ain't getting it. You'll get it eventually. Just not when we said you would.
Just not that day.
Just not that day.
Just not that day.
Don't feel bad.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. And I mean, honestly, behind the scenes too, how we record has changed a lot.
Oh boy, yeah.
Even for both shows, but like especially this one, because it went from we would lock ourselves in your room at the old apartment. Well, no, because even before it would be like we'd actually all the time we lock ourselves in your room.
I think there's very little times we've locked ourselves other places.
Yeah, exactly. Typically only when we travel, or now that we're in our new place, we'll
switch between this room, your room, and
the other room.
One of which is my room.
Yeah, there's like 3 rooms that we can switch between, and it all is dependent on where my recording bag is.
Yeah, pretty much.
It really is. Or just like what we feel that day, because sometimes it's just like, yeah, we'll go record in my room. And then other times it's like, nah, Belle's room. But they all have like, I think my room is probably the smallest room, but yours has the most like
Stuff
and decor and like kind of inadvertent ways to like dampen sound. That's not your intention for what you have in your room, but just the way that it helps a lot. And then the other room also has it too. Sound dampening stuff.
Yeah. I mean, your room kind of does. It's just your room is chaos.
My room, I am chaos.
You are.
I am. And the few times that I try to like get order, it just never goes well. So like I'm to the point where I'm just like, chaos.
When we both say we're chaos, we mean in different ways. Arya is chaos to her own self.
Mm-hmm.
More so than others. I'm chaos to others.
Belle is feral.
I was put on this world to inconvenience others at my own free will. So that is what I do. That is my purpose in life, to just be the problem for other people, i.e. Arya. Arya is just her own type of chaos.
I am my own problem, and like at this point I'm like, you know what? We're just embracing that part. We're embracing the chaos. It's fine. It's just fine. It's all good.
Totally fine.
Totally fine. What else am I forgetting in this 1 year celebration? I know that this show has over 1,000 like views between all the episodes, which is awesome. So thank you all for that, because that's amazing.
Lucky there.
Yeah, not something I would expect, to be honest, but like, thank you. We do appreciate the support. We really do.
It's strange to think, though, because no one comments. So, like, I feel like no one's listening and I'm just talking to a void.
Yeah, I know. And that's kind of the downside, I guess, to it sometimes, because it's just kind of like, we're just here talking about it, and like if people want to listen, great, and if people don't want to listen, great.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I'm with you on that, but like when it comes to doing these episodes, I don't know what else to say, because no one does anything, so I feel like I'm talking to a void anyway.
Yeah, we do get, because we also upload to YouTube for anybody who's listening over there. Hey guys.
Hi, I always forget you exist.
Yeah, Belle has, like, she does not look at the YouTube stuff.
I did for the longest time, and then Spotify takes over my life.
Yeah, it kind of did. But there's been a couple comments over there, like, every so often, and it's just like, oh, hi, like, and I try to respond. Sometimes I'm not good at responding because I get so much into the, like, well, back before our podcast host started like uploading to YouTube, I had to upload to YouTube myself. And I got so into the mindset of I just need to upload, like just upload to YouTube, like, because at the time too, it was like no one's really like viewing anything over there, and which is fair because YouTube is ginormous. And it's really, really hard to get kind of noticed over there. So for the longest time, I was just in the just upload the thing, like no one's commenting. And then it was like months later, I looked and there was like a comment. And I was like, oh, I'm so upset. I'm so sorry. I missed that and didn't get to say anything to that person. So now I try to be at least a little more cognizant of like every so often just being like, is there anything? And most of the time there isn't. But like in the rare instance there is, it's like, oh, hi, friend. Friend, hello. Other people, hello. But yeah.
We're not saying you have to like do any of this, because like honestly you don't.
No, and that's just it. Like everybody's like, you know, the call to action and be like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I'm not good at that. Like
I don't care if you do. I don't care if you don't. You do your own thing, dude.
Yeah, like we are very much in that in that category of like, if you do, great, like fantastic. We'd love to talk to you. We love the support of you listening. Like the rating or leaving a review, like all that stuff. Love it. Like, great, fantastic. It helps us out. We appreciate it. But at the same time, if you don't, like, we're not gonna like
I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
No, we're not going to be doing that.
No, we're not. But I just thought
Yeah,
it was
the
fitting. The
Grinch
Grinch reference was fitting in that.
The Grinch reference was very fitting. I did appreciate that.
I'm sorry, it was an opening.
It was an opening. I did appreciate it. But yeah, no, we aren't
not
going to
doing
do that.
No, I don't care too much to do that. I don't.
Well, and as we've said before, and relatively recently, I feel like we had this.
We
this
literally
discussion.
did like an episode ago.
This show is for fun. Blind Girls Book Talk is for fun. Like, these things are just fun things that we do. So, like, if y'all are having fun and you want to do a thing to, like, support the show, great, fantastic. We appreciate you tremendously. And if you don't, cool. Like,
Fine by me.
that's fine too.
I think it's also the thing for us is like, especially for me, I ain't everybody's cup of tea. I know that.
I am not everybody's cup of
We are
bog water.
we are not everyone's preferred beverage of choice, and we're okay with that because at the end of the day, and like it may see like in a world where a lot of things are very fake nowadays, when we're on here and we're talking, like people may be like, oh, like that's fake. We're not. Honestly,
No.
On here we are unapologetically ourselves. You can ask any of our friends in real life. We are very much like this, like on a day-to-day basis. If not for me, I may just be a little less sassy on a day-to-day basis. But like, I feel like when we record is my chance to be like, I can let out all my sass that I have holed up for like a week because I have to be prim and proper.
Mm-hmm.
So like for this, like minus that,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is we're what you get.
Yeah.
What you hear is what you get. No apologies made.
Yeah, no, and that's just it. We have never been ones to embrace like the fakeness of the culture nowadays. We've never been those people.
We have both never been those people who would change to make friends or whatever. I'm not doing that. I
No.
don't care enough.
No. And that's it. Actually, there's going to be an episode coming down the tracks where we're going to be talking about relationships. And when we talk about that, guaranteed we're both going to be like, look, we know even without the disability, like we are very much unapologetically ourselves.
Yeah, our parents would be, they say if we were sighted, they'd be terrified.
Yeah.
We would be terrifying forces of nature, especially me.
Yeah. We are unapologetically ourselves. And so because of that, a lot of guys are just like, no. And it's like, well, that's fine.
I ain't
Thank
put on
you
this earth to please you.
Exactly. Thank you. Next. Like that has always been what we are. Like we are, and we're not going to change that. If it seems like we're being fake at any point in time, somebody better call us out, to be honest.
Honestly, because I want to know what I said. Seemed fake.
Yeah, because I want to know, because
I've been called out on my crap.
yeah, exactly.
What?
And that's just the thing too, right? We are also probably one of the few people left in this world who, if you call us out on our stuff, we are going to own up to what we're called out on. If we do something that's like not quite appropriate, even if we don't mean it to, because a lot of times we can say things that it might come off a lot harsher than we're intending. So if that's the case and y'all are like, what are y'all doing? It's like, oh no, you're right. That's not how we meant it. And sorry about that. You don't have to accept the apology, but we are sorry regardless. It's that kind of, you know what I mean? We're just kind of like, we're here, man.
Unless I do something real bad.
No, it's never been like that.
But like, if I say something and someone takes it the wrong way, I'm sorry, that ain't on me. Get things in context.
Context matters.
Context matters. Do not pull things out of context, ever. That's rude.
Yeah,
Context matters.
Context matters.
That is where things get all types of wrong.
Yeah, that's where it can get very difficult. But also, like, we don't talk about anything that's, like, super...
No, we try to stay
controversial, I guess, because, like, there's so much controversy in the world today. That's my other thing, too. Like,
I think the most controversial we got was the electric car episode.
And the ableism
episode. But I think it's more so the electric car episode, to which my response was, I don't care. I was hit twice. Come for me.
Yeah.
Until you get hit twice by an electric car, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I think that that's kind of where we are on it. Like, we're not here also to be derisive and derisive, cause derision.
There you go. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say.
We're not here to, like, make a split, to, like, further a split. And people who are just like, no, like, this is what I think and therefore I'm right. No, it can be your reality. And, like, that is totally fine and valid for it to be your reality. But also, like, sometimes you have to, like, look outside yourself and, like, look at the other person's perspective and just be like, huh, what's that do? Like, what's that mean? And, like, try to figure it out that way instead of just being like, nope, I'm right.
You ain't.
No. And we're not right either. Like,
no, we're not.
We are never going to claim to be like, we are the end all be all experts on XYZ. Heck no. We're giving you our opinions. We're giving you our
stories.
We're giving you our perspective. But, like, end of the day doesn't mean that we're fully 100% right, because there's kind of your story, my story, and then the truth is somewhere in the middle. Like, we definitely, I think, try to live by that mantra a lot of times, along with, like, treating others how you want to be treated. So, like, yeah, we're not gonna sit here and try to cause problems, because
I'll cause problems. Not those type of problems.
You'll cause other
chaos. Other chaotic problems.
You'll cause other chaotic problems, but not, like, fully, like, going after somebody else.
No,
like,
I won't do that, because I honestly have my own life.
Well, A, we have our own lives, and B, we wouldn't want that to happen to us. So why on earth would we do that to someone else? Like, absolutely not. This is slowly turning into Arya gets on a soapbox and talks about what she doesn't like about society today.
It really has. And I don't know how we got here.
I don't know either.
I don't know the chain of events that led us up to this.
Well, okay, but listen, yo, I mean, what's a celebration episode without also just being like, yo... I swear all of our celebration episodes somehow get deep in some way.
I swear they've all gotten, like, philosophical at some point in time. I think there's only one, and I think it was our first celebration for Blind Life. Or Book Talk.
For Book Talk.
And I think it was because we did some sort of funny challenge or something.
I forget what we did for that.
I don't know, but I know it sure as heck wasn't this.
Listen, okay, this snuck up on me. So I had no planning.
No plans.
I had no planning. But I'm thinking that maybe for, like, the Christmas holiday, we'll do, like, an actual, like, fun episode. But I'll get there, you know? I'll get there. Listen,
Christmas is too far away, man.
It really isn't, though. It's like, it's almost October.
I know. Don't remind me.
From the day of recording this, it is days away from being October. And that's upsetting to me.
Girl, that's upsetting to me. That means I'm like so close to midterms, which means I'm halfway through the semester, which means in a blink of an eye, I'm going to be in freaking finals.
I know.
I'm not ready for this.
We're not
I'm
ready.
not.
None of us
I'm
are ready.
not. No.
None of us are ready.
No. Please, no.
So, yeah, I think after my soapbox,
Yeah, I think that's
it's time to call it an episode.
I think we're going to call it here before who knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah, who knows? No one knows. Sorry about that, y'all. But, like, also,
I love how we went from the fact that we talked to a void into this.
hey, we're just here, man. We've always been like, we're just here. We're just here talking about stuff, and like, it's cool.
We'll figure it out.
We always do. But anyway, thank you all for listening to this celebration. Thank you all for supporting the show for as long as you have, or if you're new to the show, hey, what's up? Welcome.
How'd you find our neck of the woods?
Yeah, you found our neck of the woods.
You must have went down a deep rabbit hole.
Hey, but listen, we welcome you here. we're all mad here.
Whether you want to be here or not, you have made it to this corner of the internet.
You have, and we're all mad here, and we embrace that, and we support it. But of course, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for all that you do. If you like this episode, do the things. We talked about how I don't like calls to action, so we're skipping it today.
Do the things.
Do the things. You know what things I'm talking about. You know exactly what things. Do it if you want to. If you don't, cool. We're cool. We're still cool.
Still don't care.
And then next time, do I have a plan yet?
Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh.
Whether or not I hijack it to be determined, but eye doctor.
Okay, so we're finally going to be talking about the eye doctor. I think we pushed this episode off like 5 different times.
And I think I've been the one to push it off
every single time. Uh-huh.
So let's eye hijack again.
That's what we should be talking about. So again, hey, don't forget that it is a blind life. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.